What's up, guys? So normally I do these deck profiles on Ultra, but I figured I had just done a webcam event and I had all this stuff set up in person, so why not just show you guys the physical cards so I can talk about them. So yeah, this is Retro Devilgen. This is like the first retro deck that I've really made on my own. I'm not claiming to do anything super special or unique, but I think this character uses some of these, particularly the DLC cards, very, very well, and his damage output is insane. I don't really know of many characters that do more than he does in terms of like raw damage you can put out on like turn two or off like a single reversal. So yeah, I mean, at this point we pretty much know what Devilgen does, but he allows you to respond to a check of an attack by adding it to your card pool and buffing the check by the number of attacks in your card pool. And then his enhance allows you to add an attack from your discard into your card pool to change the zone to match it if you want. And then your attack will get damage equal to the number of attacks in your card pool. So we're playing on fire, and the reason this guy is so crazy in retro is he counts multiples. Let me see if I get that right. So yeah, this card, Burst Time, is a multiple 3 that feeds itself. Um, this card is just crazy. The downside, or why it was more difficult to play in other decks, is it has combo stun stun, but you play a stun attack, this guy puts a stun in your card pool, suddenly this plus any stun attack is multiple 3 automatically. And this is a 2 high 4 on its own, but it gets the 3 momentum multiple 3s, so you'll have 2 attacks, this is the third, multiples count for Devilgen, so you'll have 6 attacks in your card pool before you start adding them for each of its multiple copies as well. So this card gets absolutely massive. The only real easy way to deal with it is to like revoke one of the enhances or play one of those cards that like blocks all the multiples, things like that. Um, but yeah, it's really crazy. And it checks a 2, which is a downside, but the natural partner for this card is just the other DLC, Hellfire Impalement. This has quickly become like my favorite attack in Retro just because it's so crazy powerful. It also has stun, so it works with the combo. This card says enhance mill the top 10 of your deck for each 2 check or lower milled. This way you draw a card. And then you can remove any number of 2 or less checks from your discard to ready that many foundations. Um, so yeah, this is like the perfect opener. You mill, we're running 10-2 checks. Um, Hit a couple things, draw some cards. If you have this already, you don't even need the draw. But this also just like makes sure that even if you check bad on this card, if you have twos, you can ready everything and make sure this checks between this and the response. It's really borderline impossible to fail playing this. So yeah, this package has been around, but it's extremely potent in Devilgen for reasons I mentioned. I'll just put these over here. So the other DLC part of this, and the reason this gets so crazy on defense as well, is Stairwell Escape Shot. Um, I should mention that in general, this deck is pretty cheap. I think all of these DLC cards are pretty widely available for like $1 or 2 each. Stairwell might be 3 or 4, but it is then the most expensive attack in this deck. Like everything costs very, very little. So this card is a reversal, and it says when you play it, you can remove another attack from your discard, and it'll gain a keyword from that card. So what is so crazy about that is you can play this, remove burst time from your discard, and multiple through your opponent on their turn. And the multiple with Devilgen means that they must be blocking. So that says their turn is over if they even live in the first place. If you resolve this and multiple through them on their turn, they are blocking everything and like scrambling to live at best. Um, and even if you don't have momentum, you can remove. I run some other stun moves, a stun 2. You can get stun 1, stun 2 on reversal. Like, it's just incredibly good. And then Devilgen response also helps reversals check. So this is the reversal we run. It is an incredible card. Um, the rest of the attacks, we run 2 Violent Tatsumaki. This card, is another multiple that fuels itself, and it's a 2 check, so Hellfire Impalement works with it. Maybe you could run more copies, but it's very risky. The cost to get 2 momentum is to remove your hand, and then it gets 2 momentum as a 1 mid 5, and then you multiple 2 it. But if they're out of cards in their hand, this will just be 30 damage or more, probably more in general. But this is the last 2 checks, so no missile launchers in here. You just don't need them. This is also like a $2 card. Missile launcher's like 15. So other cards are running Titan Armbar. It's still just good here. The damage gets ridiculous, and The last attack is Flame Aura. These are the cards we want to put into our card pool. Um, these combo really well together, make it a high block with Flame Aura. Our blocks are horrendous in this deck, but it doesn't matter so much because Devil Jin just sets the zone of their like attacks to block it to whatever, and this card blocks for free pretty much. So the reason Flame Aura is so crazy in this deck, I mean, it should be pretty obvious, but like you're putting Flame Auras in, so like as you multiple and you put more of these in, they're gonna burn. If assuming they can even block everything, they're gonna burn for 2, so 3 total, 6, 10 total if they block all 4, and you had 4 Flame Auras you add in. Um, so yeah, that's pretty crazy. Overall, the attack package seemed very good. It just works really well together. You could run more twos, I suppose, but the upside, as I mentioned before, is just this deck is just very cheap. It doesn't cost much money. We play one action. This card is incredible in this deck. Know the Power of the Abyss is mill 10 for cost on a 4 difficulty action, and then remove it. Um, set this attack speed to 0, add a reversal from your discard to your hand. So on offense, this mills 10, so you can hit more cards to put in with Devil Jin, and on defense, this is I mean, it is like a barrier shield, but you pick up your stairwell and then you play the stairwell on them and force them to block it usually. Um, so incredible card, would never run less than 4. Again, it's like a couple dollars. We're playing 3 Shishio. I was not building this. I thought it would be better than it was. This card is very good, but typically I just kind of picked it up with a foundation you'll see and blocked with a breaker 1, 0 mid. But this card is good. I think it stays in for now. Again, I think it's a couple bucks in Rochester. Foundations. Searching for the Knight of Mare. In theory, this card was okay. I didn't activate it once. I think it should just be like 1-mana Inferno. Whatever. This card could be anything. This card you need. Wishing Ward. It's just flip mill 3. Makes them spend momentum, but who cares? Like ultimately, you just need enough cards in your discard to stack with Devil Jin. So like, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's like a quarter or whatever. This card is fairly cheap, I think. It wasn't in stock when I looked, but this is just an example of going from standard to read retro cards. Be like, it does what? It's just mill 3 on every single attack. Like, it's just really, really good. Make sure you always have attacks in your discard to stack with Devil Jin into the card pool. Azure Nightmare is just the best one diff in my opinion. One of the very best ones. We just like having a few cards at ready in case we don't want to use Devil Jin response and commit a bunch. I ran 2 capture the target. I was supposed to run 4 and I couldn't find them. I think I readied it like one time. So yeah, it could probably be anything. 2 God of War. Maybe it should be 4 God of War now. But this is Tenacious Form, sack your next sack a foundation, your next check gets +1. So again, we're like trying to be cheeky and check things that we really shouldn't be able to. So it kind of works together. For the 2 diffs, I'll just do the speed stuff first. Guardian of the Spirit Sword, I think this is like $5, and Second Saintly Beast is probably also like 3 or 4. This is once per turn mill for +2 or -2 speed. Fuels your discard and helps you block stuff. Not a whole lot to say about it. Could be less than 4 copies, I mean. This card is once per turn -2 speed, and you can flip, discard a card, pick up an asset. It's okay. It does not have to be there. It's the most expensive card in the deck in terms of money, so yeah, just pick something else, I guess. And then this card was incredible, Last Ditch Gamble, and then this is the other like very good synergy piece that Fire has. So not over till you die, common, super cheap. It says flip, stack, an attack. So it says that you check something guaranteed with Devil Jin response, and the other synergy here is this card is form, sack it, clear a card from your card pool, draw a card. So you can stack your burst time or whatever and then draw it. You might even want 4 of this card in here. But yeah, all this stuff is cheap. So that's pretty much the deck. Let me show what I thought the sideboard would be, but I didn't side anything in. So I sided 4 out of your league. I think these are worth a little bit. I think these are probably like $5 or $6. This is just Fire's easiest way to cancel responses, which are going to be the ways people are playing cancels against you. They're going to cancel like they're gonna revoke your multiple, anything like that. There's probably some other cards I'm not aware of that do similar things. So if you are getting canceled, you just bring these in. Don't side out, know the power of the abyss, side out something else. Um, so yeah, these cost a bit, but they're probably necessary for side unless you just say, if they have the cancel, they got me. What else did I side? I sided 2 for Irrefutable Force of Nature. Card costs nothing. I was just thinking I wanted some foundations that interact with stage if there's like a problematic card in play. Ancestral Quiver I believe is like $4 or $5. I just didn't have enough cards in my sideboard and wanted to have 10, but I think that in theory this is pretty good against like Janet and stuff. So again, you could literally whatever you feel like siding. Retro is like so unsolved and like Wild Westy that like you just try things, see what works. Last card I sided because I liked the idea of it was Omnidirectional Blade Strike. This is also like $1. Um, this has a card pool effect of you can block multiples with it from your card pool. So with Deviljin, this card just says that you can block every multiple, at least partial block every single multiple, without like adding to your progressive. So that's like extremely good and probably a reason to include it in the side. Um, so yeah, overall, I think the deck was pretty cheap. It ran very well. Seemed pretty broken, but like I know a lot of stuff in retro is pretty broken, so who knows? The DLC attacks are just crazy overall, but it was certainly funny to resolve a too high 14, 15, 16, 17 and being like, oh, you have 2 blocks in hand? Okay. Uh, yeah. But overall, this is what Deviljin looks like in retro. I did try and make a chaos list with like Westwind combo and stuff, and it didn't quite have the defense that Fire did. Like particularly, just know the power of the Abyss and Flame Aura. This combo of cards with the ability to zone change as well with this guy just means that it's very hard to hit you sometimes, like deceptively so, and then you're also 35 health, right? Like you can take a few hits, and then when they start to overextend, do this, and then if you have a reversal, it just gets so much worse for them, right? Um, but yeah, it ran pretty well. I will probably just keep playing the deck. I'll let you guys know if there are updates, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.